YouTube, my name is Chris Fair and welcome to my channel. I will be discussing the latest episode of 90 Day Fiance. Now, if you've watched Wa's previous couple of videos, I've gotten to talk to her about this season and it's been so good and so fun to talk to people in her comment section. Anyways, thank you so much for watching these videos. Please subscribe, and if you also haven't seen Wa's and I Vegas trip, go ahead and watch that. But let's get in this episode, honey. It was real good. Okay, so the first couple we're going to talk about is Jessie and Darcy. Okay, so we're picking up, honey, where we left off, and it's like not the best, right? So they got upset. They made dinner for Darcy's daughters, and it was very intense for Darcy because she like had to make sure that everyone thought she was a good mom in the cooking of this meal, and she did things the way her daughters liked. And Jessie was supposed to make the steak, and she was gonna make the rice, and she just kind of like kept controlling how the steak was to be made, and he's like, I can do it, and she just like cut the steak on a bias, and that way it'll be juicy. My girl's like, juicy steak, I worked at a restaurant, and he just like loses his mind, honey. He can't deal. He's just like, stop telling me what to do. He runs out. Anyway, so yeah, the daughters are like on her side. It's super awkward. It's like, then the daughters come and get him, and it's like, dinner served, come eat, and then he won't eat anything. He won't talk to her. He's like, I'm just here to talk to the girls, but then doesn't say anything, and the girls are on the mom's side. It's so awkward. And then she tries to bring up the steak again. Girl, leave the steak alone. Leave it. You know, he won't have any rice. He hates carbs. He hates food. She hates dinner. They hate food together. It's too bad they can't make it work. So many people love food. These two people, you know, brings them misery. And misery loves company. So this is a weird part. So then after they fight, Darcy's like, okay, well, girls, I'm gonna have you sleep over at someone else's house because it wouldn't be appropriate to have you in the house. And in my mind, I'm like, you just fought with this guy. Like, if I was the two daughters, I'd be like, oh, if it's not appropriate for us to be in the same house, like, is bro taking a lift to the Sheraton? Because this is my house, Mom. What are you talking about? This is my house. My rooms. He's not kicking me out of my house. He's not staying here. Like, that's how I would be, but I mean, I'm an only child, so I'd be like, what? Yeah, but no, like, the kids leave, you know, okay, and then he stays as if things are going super well. Darcy's so interesting, right? She's either in, like, full face makeup or, like, nothing at all. Like, it's either, like, matte counter in, like, early 2000s on her face or, like, Glossier. She either is gonna put all the might into a strong cat eye or, honey, she can't be bothered. She has other things to do. She has to cook for her daughter's dinner. So the next morning, a bunch of crazy things happen where like they accuse each other of what happened during this fight that unfortunately happened off camera, like kill us. So Darcy's like, I stepped on his shoe accidentally, my feet were cold and he blew up. Okay. If your feet were cold, wouldn't you step in the shoes? I don't understand how stepping on a shoe would make your feet warm. Then he's like, then she threw her shoes at me. You know, it's like so many shoes. It's like she's Cardi B, he's Nicki Minaj. You know, like she's throwing her like bloody shoes, honey, at him. Like it's Louboutins a flying. And he wants to call the cops and she's crying. Oh my God, this is such a mess. I have a theory. The theory is that they broke up like after the first season and like they both want this paycheck. And so when they came back and was like, do this season, they're like, okay, but they hate each other, right? And they just have to like do this to make the like 40K. Are they doing it just for the fame? You know, for like Jessie's personal training career and Darcy's clothing line. At one point, like Jessie's like, she threw shoes at my head. What's next, a class? I just like love that accent, so crazy. It gets real dramatic and Jessie's like, well, if I didn't dodge that Louboutin, like I wouldn't be sitting here right now. Like if somehow the shoe was gonna like take him out as a complete person, he'd be no longer existing in this realm, honey, if that shoe hit him in the eye or something. Like not just like I might be blind or I could sue her, just like he wouldn't be here. He'd be in the Amazon. You know, I don't know, like where would you be? You wouldn't be dead. If that shoe hit you in the eye, you would just be like maybe blinded, which would be horrible. I don't wish it on you, but like let's not. She's 4'11", Jessie, and you're like a personal trainer. Like you don't need the security of the show to like help you leave. Come on. What is she gonna do? She wasn't even drunk. We saw her. She wasn't like slurring. It makes me upset when he like puts it all on her because I want him like, you're an asshole too. Like she is absolutely crazy, but you have signed up from it from moment one. You keep co-signing by your presence, by your like showing up. you know, which is like kind of a metaphor for life. You co-sign with your presence. It's true. So then Darcy has this like confessional after he's like, oh, I could have died from the shoe hitting me or whatever. And she's like, he's a scary person sometimes and sometimes I can't handle it anymore. It's too hard, I can't handle it. Whatever, he brings his huge cameo duffel bag and he's like gonna leave and he's like, you have to work on yourself and not drink, and we've heard this before. And she's like being kind of like, no, I never was gonna ever do that. I'm gonna drink. That's me, I'm Darcy. Hi, nice to meet you. I like to drink. When Darcy was like, oh, I'm sorry, I know you're like 24, but can you like try to be mature? He's asking you to like not be like really anxious and like a mild alcoholic, and you can't do that. I mean, I get it. It's like you both are not for each other in that way. He can't be like, Darcy, I know you're only 4'11", but like, can you reach that can on the tall shelf just once for me? God, you know, she'd be like, I can't physically. Like, he's not mature, she's not tall, she's gonna drink. That's what's happening. I know this. I know you guys. So then he's like, well then break up with me. And then she says, I don't know. Because it just seems like it's always gonna be a problem and about me. Break up with him. So after she says that, Jessie starts crying and it's like weird and turned on, like who walked in, like bad Dutch Meryl Streep man. And then it's like, what, who's gonna get up first? He gets up first and leaves, and then she just gets up and leaves. So the next couple is Angela and Michael. Oh, my favorite, my absolute favorite. Obviously she was on Maury Povich or whatever, and like the producers scooped her up and decided that like we weren't done with her as an audience, and they were right. She's made for this. Like Honey Boo Boo, but better than Honey Boo Boo. But like in the same family of Honey Boo Boo. Like maybe literally, right? I don't know, that could be. They take Angela to dinner and they're gonna make her eat more weird food. I mean, this is what this show loves to do, is just like make Americans eat things they don't wanna eat. Watch them, look at it, have to like put it in their mouths, watch a reaction, and then just spit it out. Literally this whole show is people spitting out. Michael, why are you saying that you ordered for her cow legs? She doesn't want to eat a cow leg served in a cow hoof. She wants to eat macaroni cheese served in a bread bowl. That's what I want to eat. So he wants her to like swallow the food, honey, and if you know one thing about Angela, she does not swallow food. Angela doesn't want to swallow. He's like, swallow it, do you love me? And she's like, no. He's like, oh, silly baby. And she's like, what? She brings up the fact that age bothers her, and then, honey, we get the sound clip that, yes, it also bothers him because he wants kids. And so, yeah, it bothers him because she can't have the kids. You know, she's can't have them. Michael, I'm just gonna spell it out for you. We have 20 to 25 years before I kick the bucket. I'll be 75, you'll be 50. And I need to ask you something, Michael. Will you wipe my butt? On them cold wintry nights, Michael, when my arms don't work anymore, and then you use one of those Cottonelle wet wipes to kind of like clean up after the first initial wipe, because you never just wash dishes with a dry paper towel, so why would you wipe your ass with a dry toilet paper? So then it goes to Michael and he's like, good question. And then he just says, don't worry about that. And that just shuts her up. That works. She's like, all right. Great. Then the scene ends like literally with them just making gushy eyes at each other. Like it cuts to him and he's just like, and then it cuts to her and she's just like, it almost feels like they're getting over some humps in their relationship. Except the fact that like he wants kids to carry on his name that she physically can never give him. Except for that thing. Small thing. And like they're walking in like a rural area, I don't know where it is, like by his house or whatever, and my favorite thing, which is B-roll of like the people that live in his village staring at her, and oh my god, did it deliver. That at one point there were two people, nice people with things on their head, right? It's like they're walking and they're balancing the things on their head. What looks like a dinner for 20. One level was greens, salad greens, like very healthy. And the next level was like butter, cheese, meat. They're like mini food trucks on their head just walking, and it's staying there. Anyway, they're just staring at Angela, right? They're just like, Okay, so then Angela says Michael is learning her. Like, you know, they're going back to this, like, things are kind of going well, but then Angela just, like, brings up that she found an Instagram account on his phone and that he's following lots of different women, random women, right? And then Michael's response is he has to follow so many women because that's how he can get his posts out. That's not how algorithms and Instagram work. It's not about how many people you're following. It's actually about how many people follow you. Like, those random women, unless they're following you, they ain't ever gonna see your posts. And honey, it's like, why do you have those women on there? And like, what are you doing with their pictures? And she's just like, are you masturbating to those pictures? Are you masturbating to those pictures? Also, what's so bad if he masturbates to a picture? Like, fine, let him. Let him masturbate to a picture, big deal. I mean, Angela, like, in what world do you think that this man's for the rest of his life gonna only think of you to get off? Like, I don't even think that, and I mean, like, I'm not saying I look better than Angela, but like, you know, so I'm just saying it's not realistic for any man to like only think of one woman, and especially maybe someone a little advanced in life. She's wise in years. Then she like goes back to that like Lagos Travel Inn, which, you know, it has an indoor pool. So if you're doing some traveling, like, that face does not look bad. But honey, Angela has a FaceTime with her daughter, the daughter that was on Maury, and that she like didn't know who the daughter's baby daddies were. Like, that's what that is. But then the daughter's like, well, Mom, do you think that if you were a 52-year-old woman living in Nigeria that he would have anything to do with you? And she's like, yeah, of course he would. And she's like, you're dumb. No, he absolutely would. She's like, yeah, no, I think he would. And then you kind of start to see things slowly be like, huh. Oh, would he? Would he? Like, before you snap, honey, see if there's like a club floor and see if there's like a little free appetizer between 4 and 6. Like, that kind of place usually does have that. Traveling tip. And the last thing they end on is that they're teasing the fact that Angela has not told us something, a secret that she has been keeping from her family. A secret involving Michael having done something bad or suspicious, perhaps, that like makes her feel like he is in it for the wrong reasons. So we'll see. So the next couple is Tarek and Hazel. Let's talk about him. So after like this huge blow up with Dean, right, and it's like was real annoying for them all to deal with. Whatever, Tarek, it could be so many things, comes to like the apartment they're staying at, and he like calls her Kitty, which is cute. Like, Hazel lets him in, they talk. We get a little more backstory about what the hell. Hazel has an ex-boyfriend that's not the father of her kid that she has left clothes at his house. They dated for 2 years and they like shared a space together, which I'm also a little confused about. Like, she's super Christian, but you can live with someone, like, what's that about, and share a bed? Or like, I don't understand. Like, is it because they're like poor? Like, how does it work? I don't know. She is still in contact with that person because that person has stuff of hers, and he said that he was just gonna like give her money for the stuff, and she's like, I need the money, and that's why she's like contacting him. Okay, that. But then Tarek and Hazel. Tarek's like, girl, I'll just give you money. I'll give you money, just like don't talk to that person anymore. But later on, the producers are like, so you're gonna stop talking to that guy? And Hazel's like, no, because I need my money. And it's like, yeah, but he said he was gonna give you the money, so like, why, you know. Tarek has doubts. He has doubts though about Hazel because he feels like Hazel had such like a reaction to Dean's questions. Like, why would she have had that reaction? So I just feel like it's because she didn't want to talk about that stuff on camera. So in the first scene, he's wearing the hat, the red hat, she's wearing the green version of the shirt, and the next scene, she's wearing the hat, and you know, like, they just keep going back and forth. That hat's like a hot potato. They, for some reason, decide to torture themselves by A, riding in one of those like dune buggies again, B, by eating a raw, fully formed duck egg, fermented maybe, or some vinegar salted duck egg. Duck fetus, you open it, you see it all. You see its little body, just like, and you eat it. That's what they did. See Dean again. What an afternoon schedule. It's another scene of like an American spitting out food. So they meet with Dean to tell him that they need space. Like he's no longer welcome on this vacation. He's gonna do his own thing. They're gonna go on this romantic vacation and like, bye, thanks, cool. And then like Dean's just like, oh yeah, okay, cool. By the way, like Hazel, like, do you think you're gonna be able to sexually satisfy my brother in the bedroom? And Hazel's like, what the f is wrong with you? No, but instead she's a mouse, so she's like, I would just be like, you are an absolute crass barbarian. Don't ever talk to me like that or feel like you have the audacity to talk to me like that ever again. Check yourself. And she had gotten him a Sprite. He was that rude to her after she got him a Sprite. Honey, if you get me a Sprite, I'm gonna treat you right. Oh my God. You listen to me right now, Sprite. Don't you take that without paying me. That was real good. You paid me for that. Also, just like, how come Dean didn't tell his brother that like he's dating an uber Christian girl who makes him go to like 5 hours of church, and maybe like they haven't had sex yet, and maybe no talk about sex. And also like Dean like get a clue, like maybe she didn't want to talk about her personal life with you, like from the last time you tried to talk about her personal life and she, I don't know, didn't say a word to you. So maybe just like talk about the weather, or I don't know, football. Maybe there's like a Netflix show that you can like have a bridge together with Hazel to like get on common ground with. Game of Thrones? I suggest Game of Thrones. It is, brings people together. Universally appealing. So the next couple is John and Rachel. Okay. Honey, they're touring like the cliffs of England. They're like the moors of, I don't know. Looks cold, windy, you know, could rain at any minute, but right now it's not raining. John's wearing that baby. You know, he's wearing that baby like an LA yoga mom. You know, that baby is like co-sleeping. You know, he tells her he'd give up anything to be with her. She cries. It's like so in love, 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 love. She trusts him completely. Like no matter about the fighting, she doesn't give an F about the fighting. She trusts him with the baby. Everything's fine. He's holding the baby over the cliffs. You know what I'm saying? Like pretty much like Lion King or something like that. Like Lucy, and like Lucy's fine. In her mind. It's so crazy that she trusts him completely, and I feel like this whole show is a PSA never to trust anyone. Don't trust anyone is what this show is. Don't do it. People are monsters. So then Rachel kind of like makes John call her dad to like smooth over the criminal record, just to like have them talk, meet face to face, FaceTime to FaceTime, and like the dad hear from his mouth like that he's not gonna find anymore. So that's what happens. And you know, he's just like, I feel like I paid for my crimes, and now I'll just spend my time singing on a karaoke app. My go-to song is the Thong Song by Cisco. Let me see that thong, baby. That thong, the thong, thong, thong. Let me see that booty go. Like, what was the duet they sang together on that app that like made them fall in love? Was it Summer Nights? Maybe like Cruisin'? So then they're driving home and it's really cute. Like Lucy's in the back seat, just like, and John's like, I never knew anything about raising kids, you know, just like always just drinking and fighting people and womanizing. So now I know about raising kids. And then Lucy like calls John Dada at a confessional when he's holding her with those like big brown eyes. She's like, Dada. Like the cutest thing ever. She is so cute. And then they're back on those cliffs, you know, and he like takes out the ring and he proposes to her and she cries, you know. And so does Lucy. Lucy's like, Mom, don't do it. Wait a little longer, get to know him better, please. But she's not going to. So the next couple is Carini and Paul. Oh my God. The first scene is she's in bed, honey, and she like is going through it in some way. Okay, and like he's like, should I get you food? And she's like, yes, get me food. But what she really needs, and my God, is just like a little different gel. It's a topical retinoid you can buy now at CVS. It used to be only by prescription, but she needs like a little like different gel, like in the morning at night. And if she wants to do something else on top of that, she can get like a Mario Badescu or some sort of like Kate Somerville pink drying lotion, layer that on top too. Or like whatever they have in Columbia, like an oxy pad, maybe like a little like needs like an oxy pad. She just, God bless, is suffering, and I feel bad for her. And I can say this because I'm someone who went on Accutane. I understand skin and like we've all been there, but like I'm just saying, Karina, like if you see this, just like we have tools, there are tools out there for you, you know, that can't be comfortable. So they are getting ready for the wedding, which is really super exciting. And you know, like Karina's getting like a glam makeover, honey, and we like pause on the caboodle of the makeup artist, and I went through it. There is one Urban Decay Naked palette. It's not the classic brown one, it's one of the pink ones, like a yellow shimmery sparkly glittery. But from that, they actually like transformed Carini into an absolutely beautiful bride. I mean, what a difference eyebrows. I mean, she looked, I was like, who is that person? Oh yeah, that's, oh my God, it's Carini. You know, like, she just looks different. The mom, like, at first is wearing like a shirt with like kind of like a toddlers and tiara looking Barbie doll on it, and then it gets changed into like a red lacy number that's wedding appropriate with like kind of like, but like a racer back black bra on the back. And the dad, honey, it's a typical day for him. He's just wearing like a striped green polo and jeans. Paul is wearing this gray tie, and I've never seen this, but from here to here, like the part of the tie that's usually like the knot, it was transformed into this like wrinkly ribbony piece that looked, I swear to God, like an uncircumcised peen. It absolutely did. It looked like an uncircumcised peen on his neck is what it looked like, is what I'm telling you. That's what it was. This wedding was just like 7 people in some white folding chairs and Paul with like a dick tie. Then it's time the reception. The reception's on a boat. Dad makes a toast. Even though the reception was on a boat, still feels like they're on solid ground. Okay, so Ricky and Tamina. Oh my God. I hate Ricky. To have him think that he deserves this woman after what he is and what he's done, it's just maddening. It's maddening. As a female to watch this, I'm like, oh my God. But anyway, honey, it opens and they're eating strawberries. And I have never seen like strawberries like this. They were so big and so juicy. I mean, I'm like, they look like dreams come true. I was just like, I want that strawberry. Anyway, strawberries look good. So Ricky like buys her things, and that quote unquote makes her feel like a Hollywood celebrity. Like he buys her a bathing suit and she just is like over the moon, you know, like about this bathing suit, which is a cute bathing suit and I do get that. But then he buys it for her and then like turns it around and is like, just feel like maybe she like wants me for my money. And it's like, you take any fun out of like doing a nice thing for someone, by the way. So then he like starts to confront her about things, and it's only because he doesn't want to talk about the fact that he came here to meet Melissa. So he's like, you know, like, I wanted to talk to you about like whether you like me for me or what your intentions are because you got a nose job. He's like, well, how'd you get that money? And it's like, who knows? Who knows? Who knows? How dare you bring up something about a woman and what she's chosen to do with her body? Like, I actually am happy for her because she stands up for herself and she's like, this is my body, I can do what I want. Thanks. Go back. Go back to your lane. We're cool over here. And then like after that he's like, oh, I need to tell Tamina the truth. You know, like, he says dough, he says truth. He says that him and Tamina have a deep connection because they had sex. For men, like a deep connection is like sexual chemistry. They had sex, and so that's a deep connection they've had. He like tries to get her drunk on mojitos and is like, we have to talk. And she's like, oh my God, again? Oh my God. What is this bitch trying to like always talk to me about BS, about what now? And then he's like gonna tell her about Melissa, but then like a TV show, he, instead of confessing, decides to just lie. Like that shit happens in TV shows where someone's like, you know, it's usually like, I just want to say I love you, and then they can't say it to the person. So it's like, hey Jimmy, before you go, I just wanted to say, great game tonight. Have a good game. You know what I'm saying? It's like that moment, but it's like that is so fake, and it happens over in TV shows, and it actually happened in this one. He says like, my ex called me to talk about my kid. Is that gonna be a problem? And she's like, no. He's like, great, well, that's great. I just talked about that then, that check. Talked about the thing we need to talk about. On the next episode, we finally get the final couple. Honey, I cannot wait. Oh, like it's so good because it's like we think we have a handle on everything and then we're gonna have a brand new drama. My TLC is doing it good. Thank you so much, TLC. I do appreciate this. Anyway, I cannot wait to watch next week. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't, please consider subscribing to me. If you haven't seen, I have like literally no followers. I'm not cool. Like, I need followers, please. Like, I have none. Look at it. You're on YouTube, you see people with like thousands of followers. I'm not one of those people. I need it. You know what I'm saying? I also would love if you found me on Twitter and Instagram, if that's your thing, and follow at Chris L. Farah. The L is for Lucy, because that baby cute. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, please follow. If you have any comments, please do so below. I will fully engage. Please like this video and share it. If you came from me from Wa's channel, I sincerely appreciate it. I love doing these videos with Wa. I love doing them by myself. It's just like a different vibe. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your support. Have a beautiful week. Mwah. Bye.